Hey guys, welcome back. It is Chelsea from Raising Little Sparrows, and I wanted to jump on here and just give another homeschool update, kind of what we're doing this summer, and just some thinking shifts that we've had going into our summer and then into the next school year. I've just had kind of a lot going on my mind and on my heart about homeschooling this next year, and just wanted to pop on here and share some of it. So one of the biggest changes that we're doing that I've decided to try out this summer, and I hope to incorporate it throughout the school year as well, is we are doing unit studies. So if you have watched me for a while, you know that we have done unit studies in the past. Typically, especially when my oldest was in first grade and second grade, we did quite a bit of unit studies, and we loved unit studies. I put together my own history curriculum, unit study style, mostly just for history. I did add in some like language arts and stuff, but I didn't do like math or anything like that, or phonics instruction. That was always separate, but like math, science, nature study, history, science, nature study, that kind of thing. But I've been really trying to, I guess, shift our homeschool more in the direction of like, how do I word this? I guess unit study style, but I just trying to be more interconnected, and family style, and practical and relatable to real world stuff. I feel like Oliver, he's my oldest, he needs kind of something to really connect what he's learning to real life and to other areas, other academics and other subjects, to help him retain and really understand the information. So if you are new here, just quick background, I have two boys that I homeschool. My oldest is 11 and is technically going into 6th grade. My youngest is 6 and technically going into 1st grade. My oldest has several learning disabilities. He has ADHD, anxiety, dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and slow processing. He also has been diagnosed high functioning autism spectrum disorder, and just, kind of all over the place. He has really struggled academically since day one. He is a very hands-on visual learner. He does not process well auditorily, and he does also have visual processing struggles as well with his severe dyslexia. But he is in general more of a visual processor, and he has good visual spatial awareness and stuff. So he's very athletically inclined, and that kind of thing. He has great gross motor skills, but his fine motor skills have always been lacking, and he really struggles in that department as well. And then my youngest is pretty much the opposite in almost every way. He is very academically inclined, not athletically inclined at all. He has fantastic fine motor skills. He loves writing and math in particular, and he is gifted in math. So that's just kind of to give you an idea where we're at with the two boys that I'm homeschooling. So I'm coming from this kind of direction where I have one gifted younger student and one learning challenged older student, and I'm trying to basically find things that meet them in the middle at where their levels are. They're almost on the same level in a lot of ways. Oliver does read fairly well considering he has dyslexia, but he struggles with like spelling and writing and those kinds of things. And math is like a huge struggle, like whoa. So anyway, going forward here, the unit study approach. I found this company, this curriculum that I'm gonna show you in just a second. I don't know, a while back, like maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago. I had heard something about it, probably on Instagram. I honestly don't even remember. And the images were really pretty, and I liked the name of it, and someone was talking about unit studies, and I've always been intrigued. I just haven't found like a great fit that I feel like ties as much, it's not as open and go, or it's too many moving parts, or it doesn't have information at his level or at both of my kids' levels where it would make sense. So I've always kind of passed on different unit studies. This one, however, really intrigued me. And like I said, it's beautiful. And I debated it for the last 2 months and I can't get it off my mind. So I finally made the purchase about a month ago or so, or like, a few weeks ago. I don't remember. And planned on doing 1 unit this summer. They're 4-week units. And just see how it fit our family, like low pressure. If it doesn't work out, it's just summertime because we school year round. So anyway, it has been amazing. We are halfway through. So we're 2 weeks in. So we have 2 weeks left of our first unit. And so far I'm obsessed and the kids are doing so good with it. So it has been a breath of fresh air and really, really refreshing. And honestly, it's a lot. Like, it's a good amount of material. So I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you how we use it and what I'm thinking going forward. So I have it in a binder, so you can print this. The company is Harbor and Sprout. And hold on a second. Let me grab I should have had this ready to go. So my teacher guide binder. We're doing the engineering unit. I just wrote my own teacher guide there. And what is great, so I printed all these out. I printed the whole full unit study out, all 4 weeks. Going forward, I'm not gonna do that because it's a lot. I don't have an EcoTank printer. I wish I did. So it was not cheap to print this out. I went through way too many ink cartridges. So I will not do it that way going forward. But I just really love having a physical copy, like obsessed. I really need a physical copy. I'm just one of those people. I put everything in an actual paper notebook. I hate like keeping stuff online. It's just not how my brain works. So I needed this. So I ended up printing and 3-hole punched everything. And then I separated, there's one binder for each week. So there's a whole bunch of subjects. So what they do is they have a theme, the unit, which this one is the engineering unit, which my husband's an engineer, but it just looked really cool. So that's why we got that one. And then the subjects they have are science, history, geography, nature study, language arts, writing, math, music, and art. I think that's it. There's a lot. So I think it's 9. So it's a lot. It's supposed to really cover everything. And it's supposed to be like all you need. Like you don't really have to supplement with this. And I think especially for certain ages and stuff, you really wouldn't, or different styles of homeschooling maybe. And we haven't, like for summer, we're not supplementing this. Like it is literally all we're using. So it has been really good. Well, I say that, but I'm going to show you something in a second from my oldest. But anyway, I really love how it's laid out. So the images are really cute. And what we do is we just go through, I have it separated, like I said, into weeks. And we go through each week. And there's like a lessons plan. So there's a teacher's guide. And then there's the kids, what they're going to do. You should go onto their website. They have samples available. You can look at it on there. There's also a couple of YouTube videos you can watch where people are doing flip throughs of it. But it is beautiful. And my kids are learning so much. I am learning so much. I cannot believe the amount of stuff I've learned. And it's very engaging how they've done it. I'm just so impressed. I think they still have it going on. They have a sale. I'm pretty sure it's going on for a couple more days. Going on right now where it's, I can't remember, like 30% off maybe or something like that. 30% off of something. I don't even remember. But highly recommend you check them out while the sale's going on. At least get a unit to try. They're only 4 weeks long. But I've been so impressed. So, for instance, we've learned about earthquakes and everything to do with that, with tectonic plates and volcanoes and, the earth, layers of the earth. And we're only on week 2. We've learned about the Panama Canal. We've learned about aqueducts. We've learned about different building things. We've learned in math, we're doing angles and vectors and rays. And We have a little, they provide you with like a paper printout protractor that you can use, but we had a little plastic protractor, so that we've used for that. But you measure angles and you learn about the different types of angles and geometry and shapes, and it's just fascinating. The language arts, there's, vocabulary, they have poetry. Oh, this is cool. They have parts of speech. So we were like, they'll give you an example sentence. The engineer builds a strong bridge, and you have to show the noun, the verb, the adjectives, and they have they have 3-part cards for this. Sorry, I'm gonna pull it out for the different symbols. And we've done this with Montessori, and it aligns with that. So I appreciated that because my kids were familiar with it already, and it has the definitions as well. But yeah, they've been doing so good. Now, Oliver is doing more with it in general. He's able to do more of it than Finley is. Finley can do all of the math and stuff fine, but like some of the language arts and stuff is just, or like the research project they're doing is a little over his head because he's only like 6. So, but they have them writing a paper, and the first week for writing, you do a topic, you decide on your topic, they give you kind of example topics, and then they walk you through it step by step. And I appreciate that so much because I've been overwhelmed. Like, we have all these different curriculum. We have a writing curriculum and then a handwriting curriculum and all these different things. And this it's all in one spot. They have handwriting practice, both in print and cursive, whichever you suit your homeschool. And then they walk you through the entire writing process, the coming up with a thesis statement and how you do that. And they literally step by step walk you through it. They make it so easy and so like not overwhelming. And they provide all the pages for your research notes. Like everything you need is literally right here. And I love that. I think it just makes my life so much easier. And then for math, like proportions and equations, and there's so many like little hands-on elements that Ollie was really too old for, but that would be good for like the younger grades too. I mean, this is really a wide age could use this. I would say maybe like age 4, 5, up to age 12. So easily. And it's great. So they have things in here you probably aren't gonna use it all, right? Like depending on, your kid's age and style and stuff, but they have enough for everyone. So we've been really enjoying that, and I highly recommend it. We picked up after this, we are gonna do another unit. We're gonna do oceanography. Then at some point we're gonna do the aviation unit. So, and some of the books, it does have some like recommended books you can do with it that we've been using. And this is fantastic. I had no idea. I've seen this a bunch, but I had never actually like opened it up, and it's just a giant fold out. It's very cool, and we could have poured over this for like hours. It was really neat. So we have that one we're doing. And then this one I just picked up on my own. It's from Usborne, Working with Buildings and Structures. And it's just a small little like workbook. Well, not workbook. It's got like experiments. It explains about different concepts, and it has little like hands-on activities and experiments you can do with it. These are great. They were like $5, and I picked up several of these from Usborne. I really recommend those. They have them on it like every topic. And then we also picked up this that we've been doing. This is like a supplemental thing we've been doing that kind of goes along with it, that both of my kids have loved. Geometry Genius Lift and Learn. So this has really been good for like shapes and, measuring, and there's the protractor and angles, and it's got a variety of concepts in there. So this has been neat. This has gone really well, paired really well with this unit. And then the other one is, So You Want to Be an Inventor. They have a bunch of books in this series, and it is really, really good. Like, I love this series. We have several, like, So You Want to Be the President and different ones. So that's what we've been doing for summer, for our unit study. We also have a morning basket that we do that is separate from this. We always do that first while we're eating breakfast. We just grab a book we're working through one book at a time out of our morning basket, and when it's finished, we just move to the next book. And our theme right now for summer is climate change, global warming, and like how we can help our earth, and like how, you know, what we can do to kind of make our world a better place. Just kind of bringing that to the forefront of our minds and making ourselves aware of this. So that's been really good. It actually is tied in way better than I ever realized it was going to with the engineering unit, because they talk about solar panels and, you know, the ecosystem and water and stuff. So it has really like tied in well with what we're doing. And I can show you some of the books that we are doing for that. So I got them just out of arm's reach, so hold on a second. Sorry. Okay, so this is the one we're working through right now, and we have really been loving this. It's called Our World Out of Balance. My kids love this. We just go through a page a day. That's it. We read one page and then we talk about it. So that is literally all we do first thing in the morning. We read a Bible verse, and then we do a poem, and then we read one page out of this and discuss it. And we're like halfway through that, and it has been so good. And in fact, the writing assignment, that the paper that my son is working on for the engineering unit from Harbor and Sprout, one of the questions, the one he picked, was what is an invention, or, you know, to come up with an invention that would help the world, and he has to write like a paper on it. And that book, Our World Out of Balance, has been so good because it talks all about like ways we can help the world. So that's been really helpful tying into that. So the other book we have that we're going to go through after we finish that one is, it's another Usborne book, Understanding the Climate Crisis. So I haven't gone through this one yet. I've flipped through it, obviously. And it's a little bit wordier, but it still has a lot of great images. And it's also a little bit bigger of a book. So we'll see how much we make it through of that. I'm hoping to get through those 2 books, and that's it. And then we'll move on. I have our other topic like ready to go for when we finish that. And then my son also has been doing his little read aloud. He's going through this series right now. So this is a really cute series. So this kind of gives you an idea of where his reading level is. So he's doing really well, considering he was at a kindergarten level two years ago. Maybe not even, let me see, math. Yeah, 2 years ago he was at kindergarten level. And I don't know what level this book is, but I'm really thrilled with how well he's reading in just 2 years, and how much improvement he's made. The other thing that we picked up, so this is something that's been really stressing me out and overwhelming me, which is part of the reason I shifted to unit studies, is his dyslexia and his dyscalculia is like, because he's supposed to be going into 6th grade in middle school, I've been feeling really stressed out and overwhelmed with how far behind he is still in math in particular. And so I ended up picking up, it's ebook, so I can't show it to you. It's Ronit Bird, and it's the Dyscalculia Toolkit. And it goes, basically, it's like a method of teaching kids with dyscalculia how to do math. It's very hands-on, so that they can it's very concrete, so that they can understand the math concepts, because that's something that's just so difficult for them. Like, math is very abstract most of the time, so it's just really difficult for kids like that that have those challenges. And then one of the things that goes along with it, she uses a lot of dominoes and dice and plays a lot of games and like matching things, and tries to make it really hands-on and engaging. It's all concrete manipulatives, and then you build off of that. And then so we picked up some Cuisenaire rods to do that. So we just started this, so hopefully we'll see how that goes. So that's just a supplement to our unit study. That's the only supplement we're doing math-wise. He also, I'm just sharing these because he's been loving these. The story cubes, I didn't even know what these were. And they have like a couple different themes or whatever. So this is the classic, and we also have the action ones. He's obsessed with these. Like, this is so good if you have a kid who struggles with writing but likes stories, or would, you're trying to get them interested in stories. This has been so, so good. So he comes up with stories, he narrates them to me. I either write them down or I just let him narrate them and we don't write them down at all. Or if they're good and he wants to save them, we'll do talk to text for him because he's still working on his typing. And he's not a very fast typer yet. So these are great though. These are a great little like morning basket edition. My gosh, they love these. Both of my kids love these, but my oldest is like obsessed with these. So I would have never thought. So that's just a fun find. And then I have some mom books I want to share really quick too. If you do have a kid with dyslexia or a learning disability, I've been reading, this is The Gift of Dyslexia. And I'm only on chapter 5. So I don't know how many chapters there are, but I'm decent ways into that. How many chapters are there? 12. Okay, actually, no, hold on. Oh, there's different parts. Okay, so I'm not that far into it. Let's just be honest here. But so far, I'm really liking it. It has changed my perspective already so much on this. So I'm going to continue reading this. I will come back and review what I think of this, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I'm listening to the audio as well because I feel like I was reading that there's like different, benefits to each one, but he references things in the book. So I think it's important to have the paper copy. So I ended up picking that up, but it's been really eye-opening. And I'm hoping that this has gleaned some helpful information. So that is what I'm going through. And this I've been also really loving so far. He's almost a teenager. So I actually saw another mom on YouTube share this and I was like, oh, that looks really interesting. And it is so good. Like, it's so good. It's my husband and I have sat down and we've made like little lists. It's made us really like think about good things and conversations. And it has sparked some really good, thoughtful conversations and connection time with my oldest. So I'm so glad I'm reading this and that I thought about this because it also has helped kind of change my perspective on the teenage years or the tween years or whatever, as they're just growing and changing so fast. So those are just my books that I'm reading and I'm enjoying, and then I'm getting ready to start this too, The Art of Nurturing Boys. So I think I got this from a library a while back and started it and never finished it. So I picked that up. So hopefully this time I can actually finish it. But yeah, those are my mom reads. I love summer for reading. I just do so much more reading in the summer. And we also like do a lot more read alouds and stuff. I just feel like I'm able to like kind of like let go and focus more on like the subjects I wish I focused more on in the school year. And that's one thing I'm going to try to like really do going forward is really make sure to prioritize those subjects like art, science, history, music, like character and Bible and those kinds of things, because both of my sons enjoy those more. They tend to enjoy those types of